Zack Boothe here. Welcome to another video. I'm really excited to share with you how I was able to buy a house for $1 and turn that dollar into a $20,000 profit. I'm going to explain how that happened and how you guys can have the same types of results and how I was able to structure a deal like that so you guys can go out and do the same thing. Hi, my name is Zack Boothe and I help people just like you become ultra successful in real estate investing and more specifically real estate wholesaling. So you can follow along on this YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And also if you would like to apply for my mastery program, get direct access to me and all the actionable steps to become a successful wholesaler, make sure you go to my website linked in the description below and book a call so you can either talk to me or one of my onboarding coaches to see if we are a fit to help you in your journey to become a real estate wholesaler. Enjoy the content. All right, let's dive into this. This was the only real estate creative structured deal I've ever done that was actually listed on the MLS. Most of the time when a property is listed on the MLS, they're going to try and squeeze every penny out of it. They don't really need the services of an investor, right? They just want to sit on it and get as much as they can, and that's great. So most sellers, that's the route that they're going to take, right? But what happened was my driver, we find all of our deals from driving from dollars, and so our driver drove by and saw the house, and it had a ton of garbage in the yard and had issues. You could tell it had old windows and some of them were broken. There was just some issues there at the house that were very obvious. So he tagged the property and he hadn't noticed that there was a for sale sign, a real estate agent for sale sign out front, because he's just going crazy adding properties to our marketing list, okay? So when I got the lead, they called our postcard that we sent them and they said that they wanted to sell the house. Got talking to them, I understood that there was a pretty serious situation where they needed to get rid of it quickly, and there was a lot of pressure on them. So I went out and met with them and I found out what happened. So I really like these people now. They're actually friends of mine. They actually live on the same street as me now. So we've since sold that property. They now live on the same street on a rent to own, and her name's Maria. Maria does a lot of our cleaning at our house and she helps take care of the kids and helps my wife. And so she's a great person, and so is her husband, Carol. So the way this worked out was they had this house that had fire damage and they had saved up cash and bought the house. But since it had fire damage, the city came in and said, hey, it's not habitable until you fix things properly. You got to fix them this way and that way. And have an engineer come in and give you actual structural plans. And they didn't have the money or the ability to get debt to pay for the work that had to be done in the way that it had to be done. So what they ended up doing was having to move out to an apartment. While they were living in the apartment, the federal government said, hey, you have 2 addresses, and so you're going to lose your Social Security benefits, which would have made things very tight for them financially. And so instead of, getting loans or figuring out what they could do to keep their home that they had saved up to buy, they were being forced to sell the house. And so when they got my postcard, they thought, oh, someone's interested in buying it. Let's see what he has to say. So when I heard about this situation, I was able to structure something where I said, okay, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we, you guys sell the house to me for $1. I will get the loan to pay for the remodel, which was quite a bit of money, right? Because it needed structural work and that kind of thing. I think it ended up being, don't quote me, but around $70,000 for the remodel. I don't remember the exact number, but it was close to that. And they had committed to rent the house from me and buy it back for $20,000 above whatever the remodel costs were. And they would have 2 years to do that, or we'd then decide to sell the house, which they ultimately decided to sell the house and cash me out and cash out the loan. But then we were able to get that house for $1, do the work. They were able to get out of their apartment, keep their Social Security benefits, and be able to stay in the house that they wanted, but they ultimately decided to sell the property. So a lot of the times, one of the reasons that we're successful as real estate investors, as wholesalers, is because we find situations where people need help. They need support, right? So they would have had to sell that house instead of having a chance to keep it if I wouldn't have come along, right? So there's crazy situations and crazy things that we come across all the time that allows us to be able to make really good money, but also be able to serve and bless our community and add value to those around us. So hopefully you guys learned a lot. My suggestion to you is, as you're going out on these appointments, the number one mistake I see that wholesalers make is they just go out, show up, and make a low offer instead of sit down and figure out the situation of the seller and try and help and serve them with the offer that they make. So make sure your offers are structured around serving and helping those people in their situations and not just taking advantage of them by making a super low offer. You will make way more money and serve more people and be way more fulfilled by this job if you go out and actually make offers that serve and fit the needs of your sellers. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. We'll see you on the next video.